wait to share with you how I would go about creating this cool effect. Now, there are simpler ways to create side-scrolling games in Scratch, but these don't adapt as well to projects that require more control over their scrolling, like those that typically use a camera X and Y or scroll X and Y variables. If you've ever followed any of my scrolling project tutorials, then you'll know all about these. But if you don't worry, all will be revealed. So jump right in, make a new sprite, naming it background. I'll choose a fill colour of green with an outline of transparent or none. We can draw a large rectangle, filling the lower half of the drawing canvas. Make sure to slightly overlap the left, right and bottom edges of the screen area. Switch to the Reshape tool now, and click on the top line to add a new drawing node. These points default to a curve point, so just click and drag them to begin shaping some nice mountains from this rectangle. We can repeat this for the entire shape. It will be useful to try and keep the left and rightmost points the same height. You'll see why later. Now, jump back to the Code tab and make a new variable named Camera X for all sprites. With it still visible on the stage, right-click the Camera X variable reporter and switch to the slider mode. Right-click it again a second time and choose Slider Range, changing the maximum value to be 2000. I'm now able to slide the Camera X value all the way up to 2000. Cool. We'll use this to pan to 0, subtract Camera X. So, why the 0 minus? Well, as we move the camera to the right, the background wants to move to the left, so we need to invert the number to get the desired scrolling effect. We'll also set the Y position to 0. Okay, run that. I can now use the Camera X to scroll the background nicely around. But do you see how the costume is getting stuck on the edge and not scrolling off screen? Well, there's a fix for that right away. Open the costume editor and select the brush tool. And now, because we are never going to scroll down below the bottom of the costume, we can take the liberty of painting a small dot diagonally down from the bottom left and another diagonally down from the bottom right, like so. This will extend the distance the background can scroll off the screen. Give it a test. Now we want to add another sprite to the right of the first so that the scene scrolls for longer. Before that, we'd best do a little housekeeping in preparation for the use of clones. Separate off this forever loop and broadcast a new message of begin. We'll bring in a matching when I receive begin to kick off the forever loop. Do you want to just grab and drag Scratch Cat on the stage to bring him in front of the background? That's better. Scripts. Now, to allow us to keep track of two different positioned backgrounds, make a new variable naming it simply X, and make sure to make it for this sprite only. That's important this time to ensure that each clone does indeed have its own position. Set X to 0, and then replace the 0 in the set X position over here with the X variable. This will offset each sprite by its own value of X. So, to add the new clone further to the right, drop in a create clone block, and right away change the X variable by 480. That's one entire screen width. And run the project. It has apparently doubled in length, this being due to the new clone. And I could scroll back and forward with them both in view. Can you see the seam where the two sprites meet here? We can improve the join now to make it look even better. With the project still running and the costume join visible, open the costume editor and with the Reshape tool, select the leftmost point. Now, using the up and down arrow keys on your keyboard, you can shift the position of this point up and down, watching the seam between the two costumes.